The Yakuza games. A game series with over 20 games, and somehow even the lowest rated worst one is still a 4.4 out of 5. A game series in which you can do so much shit. Have one moment where it's the most tragic, heartbreaking scene that can make even the strongest man cry, and the next second, fun fact, Yakuza 0 is the only game ever made in which you can train a struggling dominatrix, then sing about why you're depressed, then beat the shit out of someone. If that doesn't make you want to play Yakuza, then here are some other reasons why you should. Reason 1, the gameplay. So I'll mainly be talking about Yakuza 0 for this segment because I think it has the best gameplay in the entire series. The way the combat works is you have a shit ton of moves. So there's 8 styles, but I'll mainly be talking about the Thug style, which is the most balanced one in the entire game. So the combos work like this. If you click square or X, then click triangle or Y, it'll do a specific hit. There's 4 of these, so you can go like this. Square, square, triangle. And what that does is, he pokes the guy's eye out. And if you click square, 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 then triangle, he kicks them. Similar thing if you click square 4 times and click triangle. There's also grabs, and the grabs are really useful. You can pummel the guy by clicking square a shit ton of times, or click circle and then throw the fucker down. And then same thing with triangle. Additionally, you can get behind the guy and then give him back shots. And the way you do that is you click LB or L1 if you're on PlayStation. And it does the same shit as well, but the best part of the combat is the heat actions. So the way you do a heat action is you build up the bar in the top left, and you can either do that by taunting, beating someone up, or just using heals. And if you meet a specific thingamajiggy, like say you have enough heat, then grab someone, then put them near a wall, it'll do a heat action like this. The heat actions, outside of looking fucking awesome, they usually deal a ton of damage, or flat out knock the opponent out. And the heat actions aren't the only way to deal big dick damage. There's also counterattacks, and you might have seen memes of the tiger drop, but what it essentially is if you click a specific button right before someone hits you, the character you're playing as counterattacks it, and the tiger drop is the most popular one because it does insane amounts of damage, and it negates all damage as well. But those are just some of the basic things. There's also juggling in the new games, and other shit like awaiting, blocking, parrying, blah 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 blah. But now on to reason 2, the voice acting. The voice acting in these games are so fucking good. Like the voice actor for Majima might generally be the most talented voice actors I've ever seen. He can do a perfect serious voice, silly voice, goofy voice, and he can even somehow make a character like Majima have the most heartbreaking scene ever, and then also have a scene where he's a fucking unhinged psychopath. And the antagonist voices, especially Kuze's voice, is just so fucking cool.
Gokudoの世界に KO はねえ。俺はな、キリ。指の1本や2本なくそうが、天野や渋沢に頭取られようが、そんなことは構えしねえんだ。命ある限り何度でも這い上がってやる。だからよ、てめえみたいな半端もんが一番許せねえんだよ。死ねえボケ！
And for the Yakuza 0 director's cut that's coming out, they made an English dub, and Kuze's voice for the English dub is fucking perfect. Like, it legit sounds almost identical to the Japanese version.
I'm gonna let you in on a little something, kid. The Yakuza game, it's not like boxing. The man who gets beat down, he ain't the loser. You listening? The guy who can't tough it out in the end, he's the one who loses. Huh? Get it now.
Straight up peak acting and casting. Also, I know I'm about to absolutely fumble the pronunciation, but for the character Kashiwagi, the English voice in the English version coming out sounds so much like Snake from Metal Gear Solid.
Do you even comprehend how serious this shit is? Huh? Are you too big to do what you're told now? Huh, Kiryu?
I got no fucking clue if it's the same actor as Snake, but I really like his voice. I know I'm yapping here, but I'm not a big fan of the English voice actor for Kiryu.
Justice! We're breaking the law, breaking the world together.
Justice, we're breaking the law, breaking the world,
So the English voice actor for Kiryu is a YouTuber named Young Ye, and I'm just gonna get this out the wazoo. He's not a bad voice actor, I just don't think he's fit for Kiryu. And his original actor, Kuroda, if I'm pronouncing that right, just has a heavenly voice. Just added in here, meant to say voice. But besides that, the Japanese and the voice acting in these games is phenomenal. I'm only going to talk about it briefly because I don't want to spoil anything, but just know that I don't understand jack shit without subtitles. Also, if you don't like reading subtitles, the new games have an English dub. And the one for Yakuza 7 Like a Dragon is probably the best dub I've ever seen, because they reanimated the cutscenes to fit the English voices instead of just lazily throwing the voiceovers and hoping it works. But now on to reason 3. The minigames. The minigames in these are so fucking good. Like, you can sing, dance, play pool, play darts, play Virtua Fighter, catch prizes, manage a cabaret club in which there's more customization to the girls than there is in any EA sports game, manage properties. There's a fucking pissing minigame. A pissing minigame. No, tell me, what other games have you played in which there was a literal pissing minigame? But my favorite is definitely karaoke. I think I've dumped at least 30 hours just getting 100 on all of these songs, and these songs are so good. And the voice actors, if they weren't already talented enough, literally all of them, aside from Young Ye, can sing perfectly. Like, if they weren't voice actors, they easily could have been singers. There's also a gooning minigame. Actually, there's several gooning minigames. There's also a cat fight minigame where you bet on naked girls, and whoever beats the shit out of the other naked girl wins. And there's literal street dance battles. Like, there's just so many mini games, and you'd think, oh, it's some quantity over quality shit where they just make as many as possible. Nope, they're all really, really good. Also, a girlfriend minigame, a phone sex minigame. I feel like it would probably take me at least 20 minutes just to name half of them, so I'm just gonna move on. But before I go on to reason 4, there are some things that might make you not want to play them. The first thing being is that the pacing of these games, aside from Yakuza 4, are really slow. Like, it's not as slow as RDR2 starting, but it's still really slow. It's like if you stuck your dick in a hole, at first you might not like it, right? But if you keep pushing deeper and deeper, you'll love it. And reason 4, the intro. I don't think I can show the rest of the intro, and this whole section of the video might not even be here if this video gets copyrighted. But I'm gonna quickly recap Chapter 1 of Yakuza 0. I probably should have done that sooner, but here we go. The main story starts like any other game. The main character beating the shit out of a guy and then robbing him. And after he robs him, he walks down the street, and then he bumps into these guys. They try to fight him, but then they see his face, and then they realize that he's actually a part of the Yakuza. After we get done ore farming, we meet this little shit stain. We'll just call him Foreskin Jimmy. We hand him the money, which is around 300,000 yen, which is around 2,500 USD, because it's 1988. And then he hands us 10% of the money and a little bonus. And then Kiryu still calls him an asshole. How ungrateful that he didn't like losing 90% of the money he earned. And after we walk away, we see this dork getting his ass beat. So we decide to beat the shit out of these fuckers. And after we beat the shit out of them, we meet the GOAT, Nishiki. Nishiki is Kiryu's foster brother, and he's so fucking cool. He doesn't really care that Kiryu just beat the shit out of some people. He sees it as if Kiryu was just brushing his teeth. Like, it's just the most common activity ever. And then this part where the dork who was getting his ass beat tries to thank Kiryu.
ありがとうございました。
Huh?
いや、この度はどうも。お日柄もよく。
行くぞ、錦。
I just love how the music cuts out perfectly. We start walking and then we find these drunk guys, so we decide to sober them up a little. But aside from that, we go to the bar, and this is the part where we play the minigame, which is more popular than the actual story and the game itself, karaoke. I chose the song Judgment, and unfortunately I only got 99. But after we get done singing and drinking, we go to the noodle shop, and while we're there, we hear on the news the same guy we beat the shit out of earlier and robbed. He fucking died! After that, we get a call on our pager, and our bosses tell us to go to the office immediately. We take a taxi, and then we go to the Dojima family headquarters, and the bosses blame us for killing him. But we all know that Kiryu didn't kill that guy, but they insist that he did, and tell him to take the fall for it and go to prison for a crime he didn't even commit. Kiryu doesn't say no, but he doesn't say yes either. But Kuze tells us to do whatever shit we need to do, collect our bearings, then take the fall. But Kiryu's like, nah, fuck that. I didn't do that shit. Fuck is you talking about? So he investigates, and he decides to go to Foreskin Jimmy. But as soon as we enter the building, these shitheads pop out, and the theme that plays here goes so fucking hard. We head up and we find Foreskin Jimmy crying like a little bitch, aiming a gun at Kiryu, but Kiryu doesn't give a singular fuck. And Kuze pops out like a fucking jump scare and flat out admits that he had someone kill the guy we robbed. After that, Kuze leaves, warning us that he will fuck us over if we don't take the fall, but Kiryu's like, nah, fuck that, and then storms into the Dojima headquarters. And unfortunately, this is a part that I just can't talk about because then it'd be massive spoilers. Like, this is a part where majority of people fall in love with this game, and it is such a huge part of the story, and I just can't spoil it. So I'm gonna have to cut the video a little short, but what do you guys think? Would you want to try out the Yakuza games? Have you played any of the Yakuza games? And if so, what'd you think? I'd love to hear what you'd have to say, but that's about it. Don't do drugs, and see you.